Hello Capricorn, welcome back to my channel if you're a returning subscriber. If you're new to the channel, thank you for coming. This is a general love reading. It's a collective reading for you and your, general reading for you and your person. Okay, so we have Pele Divine Passion for you. And then the bottom of the deck, we've got Taurus I have. So it looks to me like a lot of financial concerns on your mind. That seems to be weighing heavily on you, or both of you. Let's do a Destiny card. Flipped there. Let's just get that one out. Oh no, quite a few flips. Let's just take them out and see what they say. Okay, so you've got three. You've got discretion, we've got simplicity, which is I think to do with this year, and we've got leadership, which comes in with your person's bust card. It's also to do with you and also the relationship, the outcome that you are hoping for, the direction that you are moving in. Okay, so let's start with you. We've got Pele Divine Passion and we've got Grand Cross. So as I said, this is about Pele's Divine Passion. This is an aspect of yourself which you have denied up until now. So this can be, it could be the passion, the passion that you have for this person, or it's a relationship that perhaps you haven't, perhaps you're only just coming into a relationship with this person, perhaps that you've known them from before. Or it could just be that there's an aspect of your relationship which is hasn't been harnessed fully. You've kind of been living a way of life which is now requiring change. It could also be that your person is seeing you in this way. They could see that you have aspects of your life which you haven't really worked on properly. They're going to be coming up now, and they can also be seeing that you're under a fair bit of pressure at this time, but certainly you need to embody these qualities. So Pele, be honest with yourself. What is your heart's true desire? So she's asking, what is it that you really want? What is it that you really desire from your relationship and from your life? Because the two often go hand in hand. One will influence the other, or you could be doing a joint sort of mission, if you want to call it that. So with Pele, it's volcanic. It's something coming up from under the surface. So this is to do with your own particular desires, your own particular wants. And many people are facing this at this time with the world changing like it is. The way of life that you have been living probably doesn't match your heart's desires, your career, your way of life. However you've been living, it's kind of almost been robotic. You've been doing things because you've had to do them, or you've been doing things because they just needed to be done. And you were following a particular path. Being a Capricorn, you will have a plan. You will be following certain, a certain phase of behavior and actions, corporate climbing or whatever it is that was appropriate. But everything's changing now. The world that we had before is changed. It's no more. We're now moving into a new world, and it's up to you what kind of world you want to create, how you want to live, what sort of life you want to have. So this is about getting in touch with your inner desires, your particular deep-seated passions and wants and needs. They may have been put on the back burner. You may have decided that you couldn't focus on those because you've had other responsibilities and so on. And this is very much about taking up your own inner desires and needs and wants, and now going for them, actually giving them expression now, because you can't keep this energy down. It eventually will make you sick. So you need to actually let this out. You need to follow your heart, what it is you really want to do in this life. And if it's to do with this relationship as well, you need to actually follow this really deep desire. This is a consuming passion of yours, which may have been ignored or just put on the back burner, probably for most of your life. It also could be programming, sort of environmental or familial, family programming. And it's time now to let that go and actually get on your path and find and put your energy into your own dreams, your own goals for yourself, your inner self. But it's really about your dreams, following your passion. So with Grand Cross Provoker, you may be under quite a bit of pressure at the moment. There's four very hard angles coming down on you. But what this card brings about is it's a catalyst for change. So you've now got an opportunity to go after what it is you really want. And this is what this energy does is it promotes inner strength. It creates resilience, strength, real inner strength, to keep going no matter what. With this Grand Cross Provoker, it can also, as I said, put you under quite a bit of pressure, and sort of various things coming up all at once to be dealt with, lots of things happening all at once. So you could be going through changes within your relationship. If you're already in a long-term relationship, you could be going through changes, perhaps changing direction, where you're living, how you're living, how you relate to each other. Lots of things could be changing across the board now. And there's many, many things that have to be dealt with. So what this card is saying to you is to prioritize. Even if you have to keep changing priorities on a daily or a weekly basis, stick to your priorities, set them up and stick to them. Make your relationship a priority as well. Make this person in your life a priority and work steadily towards what it is that you want. It's also about time management. Make time for your relationship. It's also about, as I said, developing inner strength. And whatever changes need to be made, go ahead and make them now. But bear in mind that your dreams are very, very important, and now of all times is the time to be following that. For your person, we've got Bust, Independent, and we've got 6th House, Routine. So it seems to me you could be viewing them in this light as well. So you could be seeing them as trying to become independent in some way. Or they are already independent and you admire this about them. But it's also to do with 6th house, which is to do with workplace, work projects, any form of work, but it can also be to do with the environment at work. So this is the actual workplace, the work colleagues, and so on. So this person could be in the process of starting their own business, or working independently. Perhaps they're now working from home, whereas that wasn't the case before. As I said, everything is changing in the world now. So the way we conduct our lives, what we want from our lives in the future, how we want to live our lives is going to be very, very important. And now is the time where you start to set your intentions about what you want. You can't go back to the old life. Everything's changing. We now got to move forward. You've got to change the way you do business, change the way you do things. And this person may be in the midst of all of that. And this could also be to change health, diet, and well-being or lifestyle. So they could be going through changes, or they could be making sort of strides in a new direction at this time. But what this card is saying is your independence is a foundation for your strength and success. So I feel this person is looking at ways to become more independent from a working point of view, and obviously being their partner or going into a relationship with them. This is going to be important for you to support them through that, and likewise for them to return that to you. But this is saying that they need to be independent in how they are conducting their daily lives, their daily routines, and that will ensure their strength and success. As I said, you may be reformulating the way you've been living your life. Perhaps you have a home, you have children, everything's changing. Your children are now, perhaps they're not going to school, perhaps you're homeschooling, perhaps there's lots of different ways that this can be changing. But your lifestyle, their lifestyle in particular, is going to be undergoing some sort of change. And what it's saying is that independence is going to be best at this time, a best course of action for them. From a situation point of view, we've got Coventina, Purification, and we've got 2nd house, Owing. So I would say that for them in particular, and it may affect you, especially if you're in a committed relationship, this is about detoxification and purification. This can be people, places, things, attitudes, beliefs, emotions, emotional baggage. It can also be what you are, what you're eating, what you're consuming on a daily basis, and this can be media. So it can be, what you need to do is detox. Anything negative, anything that's not helping you, that's not actually helping your well-being, needs to be shifted now. So this can also be, because it's second house, this can be to do with income or streams of income. So this can be that, as I said, I think financial issues are coming up in your relationship. As I said, I think you may be just changing direction. You're now reorienting yourself to a new path, or something that you're trying to do together. And there are some things that you have to let go of. You have to clean up your environment internally and externally. You could be needing to recycle. You need to clear things out of your home, toxic substances, go the natural route, use natural cleaning materials, and just whatever you can to clean up your environment internally and externally. So this can be from a diet and health and well-being, and also attitudes, beliefs, everything to do with that. And it can also be manifesting as, externally. So some people may be leaving your social circle, or, you may just need to move away from a negative situation or negative people. Anything that brings you down or is not serving you in any way needs to go. Now, second house deals with income, all forms of income, but it's also to do with your self-worth and your value systems. So with Coventina purification, you're going to be doing a purification of any one of those three areas. All of them are interrelated. So what you valued before, your material things, and what was of value to before is now undergoing a change. So now, your family may be very much more important than it used to be, or, where you're living, or the kind of life that you have been living, your health and your diet, which affects your self-worth. You're probably going to be valuing a lifestyle which is better, closer to nature, more freedom, more time to enjoy yourselves, more time to spend with your children, whatever is your situation. So some sort of purification and detoxification is required here. Second house, it could be that you're changing your streams of income. Perhaps you have multiple streams of income, or you're entering this phase now. Many people are going into this now, where there are many ways to earn income, or many ways to provide income for yourself. So that could be undergoing some changes, but it also is about self-worth. When you do your inner purification and external purification, whether this is, as I said, externally from it could be a health and diet, or exercise, spending more time in nature, whatever it is that you're going to do to move yourself forward, to raise your vibration, is going to affect your self-worth. It's going to lift your self-worth, and therefore the way you conduct yourself and what you feel you can earn and from an income is going to improve. So it could also be that the situation is about your relationship, perhaps old energies, things that don't serve your relationship anymore, things you used to do, the way you used to live your life has now got to be changed. And this is going to affect your values, what you value in each other, what you value in your relationship, where you live, your home, everything. All of that comes under the spotlight with this. The second house can also be to do with property, land, and real estate. So you may be changing that in some way, or you may be reorienting so that you are spending more time out in the outdoors. Perhaps you have gardening, whatever it is, the earth, any earthy things, but they could be having a change of real estate or change of home from an ownership point of view, because the second house is everything to do with your possessions, your material possessions, and also your land, your actual assets. From that point of view, from a land point of view, comes in with the second house. For the advice, we've got Irene Peace, and then we've got third house messages. So with the third house, this is everything to do with communication, but it's also short journeys. So you could be looking around for, perhaps you want to buy land, or you want to expand your area of influence, or you could be just taking short trips to investigate moving out of the city or something like that. Because documentation also comes up with the third house. This can be documents and contracts. It could be a change of profession, or the way you are doing business, or the way you are earning your income. This can cover contracts, documentation, anything like that. It's anything written, verbal, and even body language. So all forms of communication fall under the third house. It can also be communication with specific people in your environment. So this can be siblings, cousins, aunts, uncles, general relatives, and even neighbors can come up with this. You know, somewhere along the line, perhaps your neighborhood or where you are living is affecting you right now. This can also be about expansion of your communication. So this can be to a bigger audience, but it can also be, as I said, to those specific family members. Perhaps you're discussing certain things with other family members, but it can also be giving communication or receiving communication. So perhaps some family members are involved in your relationship somehow, or are involved in the outcome of your relationship. So just be careful that you are not allowing negativity or sort of, you know, like naysayers and skeptics to influence your relationship. What it's also saying is that with Irene Peace, there is no need to worry, as everything is working out beautifully. So this speaks to your financial situation, this speaks to your relationship situation, it also speaks to your own inner well-being, which we've already covered here. So do all peaceful activities, be at peace within, and then that is what you will attract to you. And because this is the house of communication, how you are being, you know, be neutral, be at peace within yourself, and then that is what you will draw to you. That is the kind of communication that you're going to receive from others. So project, and then that is what you will receive. So be at peace. Do not worry about all these, whatever is occurring for you at this time. Everything is working out. The universe has got your back, and just be at peace within your relationship and what situations you may be facing, and then that is what you will draw to you. But certainly there may be contractual or documentation situations unfolding for you at this time. If you, as I said, if you project peace, if you feel neutral within yourself and you are at peace, then you can, you know, that is what you will project. You will project positivity, and then that is what will be attracted back to you. But she's saying, do not worry. Worry is not going to help you. Worry is kind of a useless energy. It really, all it does is it draws to you things which you don't want. So what you're worrying about is what you will draw towards you. So steer clear of that. Be at peace. Do all sorts of peace-loving activities, whether it's meditation or walks in nature, spending time by the ocean. Look after your body, eat well, sleep well. All of those things are going to be important for your relationship at this time. Then from a potential point of view for your relationship, we've got Rhiannon Sorceress, and we've got Mercury Retrograde Reinvention. So this is Rhiannon is having to do with harnessing magical abilities. Now this can manifest in many ways within people and within your relationship. This can be your own particular magic that your relationship has, which is the reason you're getting together to begin with, or what you have had in your committed relationship up until this point. It's about finding that again. And this can be the magic between you, but it can also be about what it is that you want to spread in the world, what you want, your legacy, what you want to leave, what you want to harness for yourselves. And this is about your own particular individuality and originality and what you can bring to the world. So think about what you're doing here. Think about your particular passions and the relationship you have. Take into account that you may be changing your values and the kind of work that your partner is doing. So it's about what sort of magic can you bring to the world? What can you bring? What can you say or do to spread that around into your immediate environment? She's saying you are a magical person who can manifest your clear intentions into reality. So this card is the manifestation card. What do you want to manifest for yourselves now? What sort of world do you want to live in from now on? You don't want to live in a world of fear. You want to live in a healthy, productive, loving and nurturing world. And, you know, all of those things, whatever is right for you. This is about manifestation. This is about harnessing all your abilities and talents and using them to guide yourself forward. With Mercury Retrograde Reinvention, this is a what it's saying is that whatever plan you've had, or whatever it is that you're intending to do here, or perhaps that it's an old plan or an old course of action which you were thinking of, or it's to do with the life that you have been living up till now, which is not going to work for you now going forward into the new world. So with Mercury retrograde, reinvention, that's exactly what it is. Anything with a re in front of it. So reinvention, redo, repeat, review, anything like that. So whatever you have had in the past, whatever you have been doing together, or whatever each of you have been working on individually, needs a do-over. You need to look at it again. You need to look at this plan again, or this course of action which you're intending. Look at it again, go over it again, spend time going through it with a fine-tooth comb, and be careful, because you've got documents and contracts here in the third house. What it's saying is that you need to look at those documents and contracts again, because with Mercury retrograde, it's a time of intense focus on something that you are planning on launching, or something that you intend to do, like an action. And it's saying go over it again, back to the drawing board, because you're going to come up through that process of looking at it again and going over things again. You're going to pick up perhaps mistakes or errors, or some part of this that isn't quite on point. It needs a reinvention, or needs a redo. So whether this is your relationship, or whether it affects your material world as well. This is about applying yourself to come up with a better plan, to come up with a fresh approach, something that needs to be looked at again, a review. And you're going to have you're going to be able to manifest something much, much better for yourself if you do this process, if you do this inner work, look at it again, go over it again, and come up with a better plan. There's some aspect of this which is needing a review, okay? So, and then you can manifest, then you can really bring out the magic in your relationship and in each other to push this new action forward. Do this review period. You'll notice that while this is on, communication will be off. So you'll be feeling perhaps misunderstood, or your emails may go astray, or something that some course of action won't come off very well. So rather, don't take any big actions at this time or during this energy. Hold off, plan, review, go back to the drawing board, and then you will get the push from the universe when it's time to take that action. But it's not a time for big actions or big purchases while this energy is in play. So just wait, go over things again, look at it again, go through the documentation again. If you need to get somebody else to go through it again, to pick up and anything that needs revision. And because there's some part of that which is needing to be looked at again, and then you'll be able to move forward. But it's not a time to be making any big launches or projects or big actions or big purchases while this energy is in play. And you will know, because like I said, communications go awry, they don't quite work, or if you do find that you have to purchase something, you have to take it back because it's not working or it's not functioning or something. So it's a period of review and non-action until the energy has passed. And so that will occur at some point during this, but it could also just be you've got miscommunication between you, and that needs a review at this time to bring out the very best, to manifest the very best in your relationship. With the simplicity, as I said, this is about simplifying your life. The way you earn your income, your self-worth, and your value systems need to be simplified. And this is across the board for you and your person. And do the detoxification, do the purification, whatever it is, clean up, have a look what you can trim and get rid of unnecessary things that don't serve you anymore. Discretion, be careful with your documents and your contracts. As I said, this inner review, this Mercury retrograde, the reinvention and review, just keep things quiet for now, and be careful with your, who you talk to, because you're going to be talking to some people with the third house as well. So just be careful with that, how you handle things, be discreet. And with leadership, I feel that some action is required here between you and your partner all together, and this is the action of particularly you following your heart's desire now, and for them reorientating the way they do things currently, their day-to-day lives. And there's a lot of sort of things that need to be let go of to create this new energy at this time. So take the leadership. You're definitely in the leading seat here with the divine passion and Pele. Then we've got Taurus. This is all about home comforts. This is about luxuries. Be careful with that at this time while you are going through this possible financial reset or emotional reset. Just be careful with lavishing luxuries and things. By all means, spend time with your partner and enjoy your home comforts together. But financial concerns are coming up with this. And what it is, it's about the accumulation of money, the accumulation of funds. And this is what I feel you're working on. You're getting rid of what doesn't serve you, and you're reorientating so that you can go forward together in a new and a fresh way. More independent with your partner. That's what they're aiming for. So this is about the harnessing of your your funds, the accumulation of funds, everything to do with that. Monetary issues come up, but it's also about home comforts, relationship, the sexual side of your relationship, working on that, enjoying that. And a little bit of luxuries. It's also about the earth, all earthy things, earthly activities, spending time in nature, and gardening, or it came up with the second house. Land related things come up with Taurus. Perhaps, as I said, it's purchasing a property or a second home, or spending more time in an area which is close to the earth. All of that comes in. It's all going to be helpful for you, but it's a very methodical, practical sign, this. Very earthy, very grounded, which you are, being Capricorn as well. But nonetheless, it's about remembering that through the course of what is going on within your relationship, and spend time with each other, quality time, where you enjoy each other's company, you do things together which are earthy and comforting. It's all about that. And then the money side of it obviously is going to come up. Then we've got bottom of the goddess deck, Maeve, cycles and rhythms. Honor the cycles of your body, energy levels, and emotions. So this is about honoring your emotions here. Divine passion. Honor your emotions, and go for your dreams. This is the time to go for your dreams. Detoxify. Appreciate the cycles and rhythms of your body. When you're tired, sleep. When you need to eat, eat. When you need to have fun and enjoy your life, get out, have fun, then do that. All of these things are very, very important for you at this time. Doors are opening for you in your relationship, and you need to follow them, but you can't do it if you're tired, or if you're so bogged down with old responsibilities that no longer, resonate with you anymore. This is about, moving forward in a new way, but honoring your body, honoring your emotions. So when you need to communicate with each other and spend quality time together, then that's what you must do. So honoring the cycles and rhythms, so that when you are, rest when you need to rest, take action when you need to take action. Do whatever you need to do, but do it when your body tells you that you need to do it, and then you'll be ready to take this opportunity when it comes for you. Sorry, Capricorn, and I hope you have a lovely equinox, and I will see you next time. Take care.